And welcome back to yet another FPS. This time it is a Gust of Adventure. And I'm Ike, and I'm going to be playing as Ollie, who is a mute explorer.
Hi, my name is Magic, and I'm gonna be playing, the 5-year-old rubber hose, known as Messo.
Oh boy, we're off to a good start already.
It's fine. It's fine.
So we begin out into the rainforest. It is on the map. It is known for the location called the Artifact Manor. It's a rainforest. You would think it would be raining, but for once in a while, it's not. In fact, it's actually really, really windy outside. In fact, it's so windy, I don't think these conditions would be very well to walk around or do anything outside. But any which way, Ollie is sitting inside. He's at home. He is enjoying a good cup of coffee, and he is just reading a book.
Hey, Ollie. Ollie.
Is that is that supposed to be? Is that supposed to be you talking?
That's me talking. I'm in DM mode. I'm sorry.
You just broke the fourth wall and you're trying to talk to this mute man and he's just looking at you confusedly. Anyway, he is reading a book. He is enjoying himself. It's just a quiet day.
Roll me a perception check.
Oh boy, already. Okay, let me see his perception. Perception. Where is perception? There it is.
Alright.
3.
That is a 1. Alright.
Listen, the man is oblivious as can be. What do you expect?
Sadly, this was just to see how much Ollie could get. All Ollie hears is a very loud thonk against one of his windows.
He kind of jolts up upon hearing the thonk and he kind of whisks his head over like, huh?
There's nothing there, but there's a faint outline. It's very small, but it is humanoid.
Concerned as can be, his expression on his face is extremely concerned. But at the same time, he figures, you know what, this place is already weird enough as it is. This could be just another day. So he goes back to reading.
Oh, okay. Very lovely. Alright. I'm just gonna roll something real fast. This is fine. This is fine. Let's see. 17. Alright. Ollie, nothing happens for a few minutes, so you just kind of assumed it was the wind. But, there is a much louder thunk against the window. And the wind seems harsher than before. There is a small tune. Like, right next to the spot where the outline is.
Oh my god. You see it kind of like, he looks over and at first he seems like concerned. He has his brows narrowed and everything. He's just like, what? But as you've described that, his eyes are widening like, huh? Excuse me?
This person on the other side of the window raises an arm against the wind to do a wave. But, like, as they remove their arm from the window, the rest of their body also comes off and they fall down, presumably for the second time.
He tosses that book down and kind of begins to rush up towards the window to try to look outside.
Yeah. You open the window, there is a small rubber hose tune laying on the ground. And just, like, they're doing that bird thing, you know, when they, like, hit the window, and then they just kind of lay on the ground for a few seconds.
It's like a hummingbird running into the window.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But, the rubber hose tune looks up at you and, raises an arm again against the wind and goes, "Hi, sir! I'm sorry I ran into your window!"
Ollie's just gonna stare for a couple minutes and then slam the window shut on him for a bit.
Okay.
it takes a minute or two, but then you see the front door open and he's outside and he's just like, what? Like, you can see him gesturing, like, please get up, get up.
Messo springs to his feet. His hair is really wild in this wind. It is so windy. It is very windy. But he sort of casually just walks up to the door and in front of Ollie and holds out his hand and says, "Hi, my name's Messo Esphere. Nice to meet you."
You see him like go to raise a finger to be like, but then you don't hear anything come out of his mouth because he's mute. And he just like, oh, right. And then he goes over, he kind of looks around. He's trying to find something.
Did Ollie go back into his house?
Yeah, he opened the door.
Messo is still at the door, but he is very much leaning in, but his feet are like outside of the door. So it's like, yeah, he's not in the house. He wasn't invited in, but he's still in the house.
He's still looking for something for a moment, and then goes, oh, right, and actually waves you inside.
All right, Messo takes a step in and would like to look around because this place is big, probably. This place is big. He ran into it.
Oh, it's very big. Especially for a 5-year-old.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll him a perception, which is a fancy +2, because his character sheet is still wrong, and I really need to fix it.
Oh, it's another 17!
Yeah. How's this house looking, Ike?
It's pretty grand. A lot of it is very inspired, like Victorian era architecture, at least on the outside. On the inside, it's this big foyer. There's 2 stairs that kind of wind up towards the second floor, towards the back of it. It definitely has like a gray, brown, green kind of palette to it all. If you can't already tell, he really likes the color green.
Nice.
The walls definitely have like a very ornate pattern on them. It's like in a darker green. So it's not like a very bright thing, really. But then there's also these brown tables on the sides that kind of line up just a bit ahead of where in the middle between some of the doors on each side. In the meanwhile, Ollie, he finally remembers something. He goes to rush into another room and then comes back with a notepad and some paper. Or notepad with paper and a pen.
Okay. Messo looks at this and goes, Oh, are we writing stuff? Are we writing stuff? I can write. And he pulls out a crayon. It's red.
He slowly nods.
Yay! Do you have any paper I could use? I don't have any paper on me. It usually just gets blown off my person anyway.
He nods, and then he also goes to actually write inside this notepad for a moment.
Messo, very short, but is still attempting to peek at the paper.
He kind of shows it to him so you can actually see it, and it says, "Hi, my name is Ollie."
Messo looks at it, and is it like fancy script or is it like normal script?
Usually he writes in very like cursive, but it's enough that you can sort of read it. You know, it's not like your doctor's note cursive.
Messo looks at the paper, and he starts. Is this common? I can't read anything but common.
He's tapping his chin with his pen for a minute.
He can't read
and then
cursive.
Goes back to write underneath it. He goes to write underneath it, this time printing it in like capitals, because that's like the easiest way to do it. And again, it says, "Hi, my name is Ollie."
Oh, hi, Ollie. Hi, Mr. Ollie. Hi. And Messo sticks out his hand again for a handshake. My name's Messo Esphere. I already said that. My name is Messo Esphere.
He nods and he goes to shake your hand.
Messo shakes his hand furiously.
He's trying to keep up because he's an old man. He's trying.
Messo floats a little off the ground from like the intensity of the shaking that he's doing. It's nice to meet you, sir.
He goes,
I don't know where I am. Do you know which location in Anquil this is?
he goes to write again, and it says, "This is the Artifact Manor. This is my home. I live here."
Okay. And Messo pulls out a map. It's a fairly very crudely drawn map. Like Ollie who knows maps can probably understands that Messo probably drew this map. It's all in red, that same red crayon. And it's that same red crayon. And it is very poorly done. There are marks, like, crayon is hard to erase. There are marks where, like, there's tried to erase and then just given up.
Have you drawn with crayon?
Yeah. And he goes, okay, where is it on this map? And he holds it up, like, very proudly, like, hey, I have a map.
Mm-hmm. Now, is there any memorable areas, or do I have to roll for this to find out if Ollie knows?
There's like a general, there's a labeling of some of the major cities, like Toontown, and anything that would like majorly be put on a map. But there are also some places.
Okay.
Like there's a dock that is pointed out. There's a little like, there's a mountain that's circled with a smiley face on it. But there's major locations on this map, for the most part.
Okay. He goes to point out like a very rough estimate on his map of what it would probably be located, given like where Toontown is located. It's probably about a little down east and south from that, I believe, if I am not mistaken.
Yeah, and Messo walks over to one of the tables in the back to place his map down and draws like a little X mark where Ollie pointed it out, and then Ollie, you can probably assume that it might have been supposed to say Artifact Manor, but it's spelled completely wrong.
Aww.
It's spelled wrong. And also, like, because it's in crayon, all the words are jumbled together, so it doesn't take up too much space, and it's like...
When you try to cramp in, like, the tiniest amount, but it's such a big word.
Yeah.
So it's like you're trying to fit it on a page, but you kind of can't.
Yeah. He's trying his... This small toon is trying his best. He's trying his best.
He's just kind of nodding in solidarity, like, okay, yeah. You got it.
Alright, and Messo rolls back up the map and sticks it in his hair, and it's just like, okay, what am I doing here again? I forgot. You said this place had artifacts?
He nods, yep.
Can I see some? Can I see some? Please.
He's gonna think for a minute.
Please.
He's rubbing at his chin. And then he goes back to writing again, and it says, "Are you sure about that?"
Uh-huh. I want to see lots of stuff. And I haven't seen that many artifacts
he's
yet.
Gonna slowly nod.
I saw a boat that talked once, but otherwise, I haven't really seen any major artifacts. The ones my mom had are kind of lame, but I want to see artifacts.
My goodness. Okay. He nods. Okay.
Yay! Thank you! And he just full on hugs Ollie around the waist.
Oh. He gets a little surprised, like, oh. Okay. He goes to pat the back of Messo for like a little bit, like, okay.
And Messo lets go and just kind of like hops up and down. It's like, hey, what can we see first?
Where can he go first? Let's see. He points into the left side of the area, the left side room.
Okay.
And goes, okay. And he kind of waves him on.
Messo, if Ollie is leading the way, Messo is right next to Ollie. But if Ollie is not really leading the way, Messo is rushing ahead.
I feel like he's kind of leading the way, but it's enough that he can run forward and is just like occasionally looks back, like, okay, this is the right way, right?
Yeah. Messo is looking at everything in this house. And like he's doing the thing where like if something is across the way, like across the hallway, he'll like run over to look at it and then look at it for a few minutes and then run over to a different thing and then run over to a different thing.
Just outside the door of where he's going, there is actually like a glass covered necklace. Like it's a necklace on like one of those display things. It just has a big old glass display case on top of it.
Messo's not quite pressing his face up to it, but he is very close looking at this necklace.
He nods. And then he continues walking into the room.
Okay. And Messo takes one last glance at the necklace, but continues following after Ollie.
And that leads us right into the parlor. And the thing I know about the parlor is it's kind of like in some older houses, they often have this place as sort of like I want to say it's sort of like a living room, but it's specifically made just so then you can like host other guests over. You can kind of have tea, coffee, whatever. It's meant to be very kind of like fancy, so to speak, but it's not very big. It's probably one of the most quietest areas of the house. And I said it does have a very vintage Victorian look to it. It's a common room. Unlike a Victorian parlor, however, it has very tall windows that have a very light green tinge to them. It's actually the same room with the windows that Messo has smacked right into.
Hey, this is where I hit your house!
He nods. And
It's really windy outside. I like it when it's windy. When it's windy, that means I can go outside and go a lot of places really fast.
Ollie kind of writes down like, and your parents are okay with that?
If Ollie wants to roll insight, that's okay.
Oh, I can roll insight.
Yeah.
Oh, he does a very insight. Oh boy. What do I get with 19?
Messo is 100% telling the truth. His parents are on board with this. He did not. You can even kind of assume he's got his parents' permission to do this sort of stuff.
Not that this kid needs like a permission slip or something.
No, but like, Ollie, this kid, they are, how do I want to word this? They are out here
I
for
just want you to know that
reason.
I've been nodding every single time you said, hey, Ollie, like as if you could see that.
It's like, you have a feeling that this wasn't only approved, but encouraged.
Okay. Ollie just kind of, you can see him nodding, like, okay then. You know what? All right.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I just read Trad's thing in the comments. Anyway,
But yes, this room is very, very old looking. And you can tell it keeps it clean pretty well. It has a nice light look to it because of the green windows and all. Close to the door of the room, there is a writing desk. It has a bunch of drawers. Each one has labeled different letters of the alphabet. There's some other tables lining the room as well with different artifacts from Ollie's travels. And there's a little globe in the corner as well.
Hey, which artifact over there is the shiniest?
Mm. Oh boy. Okay. Oh.
Either the shiniest or the biggest.
Oh, okay. So when you enter the room, there is a small blue glint on one of the tables that catches your eye immediately.
Oh boy. Messo is gonna walk over to that artifact. It's an artifact. He wants to see it.
As you go up to it a little bit more, it's a little statue that has little blue gems as the eyes, and it looks like a monkey. It kind of gives a strange aura to it.
Can I roll to check this thing's vibes?
Yeah, you can roll. It's fine.
What should I roll? What
Go
should I
ahead.
roll for a vibe check?
I'm gonna say history. I think
History.
I think. I'll give it history.
Not something I'm good at, by the way. Oh.
All right.
All right.
With the 16. With the 16, yeah, it feels pretty cursed. It feels like as if you get the urge to want to pick it up. Like it's trying to tell you to pick it up.
Hey, what does this thing do? And Messo kind of like motions towards it. He hasn't touched it, but like, by the way, if he failed that, he was gonna touch it when he asked that question. What does this thing do? It's got really pretty eyes. Blue's not my favorite color. I know a lot of people whose blue's favorite color. My brother's favorite color is blue, but I don't know. Blue isn't really my style. I like red more. I have red on my cheeks, see? And he like points at his cheeks and like presses them up.
He's nodding. And then he also rushes up to be like, okay. He kind of like waves like, okay, maybe don't.
What does it do? It's very spooky.
He nods again. He's in agreement. He goes to write again a little bit into the notebook. If you are not careful, this thing could turn you into a monkey.
Oh. And Messo looks back at it. It's like, why do you keep it out in the open then?
He takes a minute and then writes again. And as he writes, it says, there's things much worse than this.
Oh, okay. like, is there big scary monsters? Is there big scary monsters here?
He shrugs.
Is there monsters without the scary in it?
He shrugs again.
What about a really big crab? Is there a really big crab here?
You see him kind of squint for a moment as if he's thinking extremely hard.
It's very specific.
You can tell he's thinking. He's trying to process it for a moment. And then just shrugs and goes, no.
Aw, I thought I could get Mitzi a friend. Oh well. Anyway, and Messo kind of like examines each one of these artifacts. He doesn't touch any of them, but he like looks at them. Like if his eyes weren't always closed, he'd be like squinting at some of them before moving on. It's
okay. Which item do you feel you would see it? There's like a total of 4 items, including that monkey on the table that you're currently viewing.
I think from the monkey, he'd go to the right, and then if it's not directly on the left, then round back around to the front. Like
if you're looking at the right side, then I got something.
Okay.
So as you look into the next one, it looks like a mask that's being displayed. It looks very plain, but it looks like it's made of durable glass with no discernible features. What
does this one do?
I kind of see him like perk up, and then he goes to write again. And it says, With no discernible features, it shifts and morphs to fit the user's face. And then he thinks for a minute to try and remember what did it do aside from that.
Is it like,
And
is
then
it
he
cursed?
remembers again.
Does it have a spirit in it? A spooky spirit? Does it take over your body?
He shakes his head. He writes, not necessarily. He says, while wearing it, it clouds over the appearance of your face so that no one is able to tell who is underneath the mask. You can doff the mask as a bonus thing, whatever that means. But essentially, you can use shapeshift requiring no concentration.
Can I touch
But
it?
if you're not careful, it might be stuck on your face for good.
Oh. Maybe not then. It's, hmm. And Messo looks kind of, he does really want to touch it, but he's getting a feeling that he probably shouldn't touch anything in this house. Like, he's,
I'm just gonna see something. Let's see. Okay. Ollie immediately sees this. Like, he can tell, basing on the expression on Messo's face, that he really wants to touch it.
yeah.
So he kind of goes over and taps your shoulder and then begins to write again. And it says, you can touch this one. Just don't put it on.
Messo picks it up immediately. And, like, alright, he doesn't put it on, but he, like, lifts it up to, like, look through the eyes while not putting it on, like, an arm's length in front of him. Just to be like, is it actually a glass mask? Is it made of glass? Is it fragile? Does it feel fragile? Would it break if he accidentally...
fragile, definitely.
Okay, so
it has a bit of weight to it as well.
Oh boy. Luckily this boy is not weak per se in the strength department, but he is like full on looking at this mask. He's just like, oh my god, I love it. I don't think I can take it home. I don't think mom would let cursed objects in her house. Anyway, and Messo...
He just kind of lowers your hand very gently, like pressing against the mask, like, okay. Okay, that's enough.
I mean, I wouldn't take it unless you let me take it, because that would be stealing. Stealing is wrong. And, I lost my train of thought. What was I thinking of again? Anyway, and Messo puts the mask back. It's still very shiny.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh boy, and oh boy, he's getting a feeling that most of the items are cursed. Though there was that globe in the corner.
Yeah?
Yeah, Messo wants to go look at the globe. How big is this globe?
Go right ahead.
How big is this globe?
I want to say it's probably bigger than Messo's head, at least. Like, it's probably about, like, I don't know, size-wise, maybe a little bit bigger than him. Not him as a whole, but like about half of him.
Messo's like,
it's fairly big, but
3.5 feet tall. He is the size of an average 5-year-old. I don't remember that off the top of my head, but I remember it being 3 something. But he is looking at this globe and he's just like, what is this? It's like, it looks like a map.
Down.
It's a map, but it's circle.
Yes, it's a globe.
What's a globe?
It's kind of like a map, but more spherical, and he writes down.
Oh. So, okay. And he spins it. Is there any noticeable locations on this globe?
Yeah, there is. There's a big bit that is basically all of Inkwell, and then there's some stuff that is a little bit different and kind of goes stretching out into like real kind territory, you know? It kind of goes further down.
And does it show all of Furuma by any chance?
It does. It does.
Messo is looking at Furuma and trying to think of something. I'm gonna roll something. See if he remembers. That doesn't. I don't think that makes it. Messo is staring very hard at this map of Furuma, and he looks kind of disappointed in himself. But he's, man, I wish I could visit Furuma one day. That'd be fun. Anyway,
He nods.
and he stops looking for whatever he was looking for on the globe, and sort of tilts his head back up to Ankwell. It's just like, is Ankwell this small compared to everything else? Really? It seems really big.
He writes down, it really does look bigger, doesn't it?
Huh. I mean, I guess the world is pretty big though. I mean,
That it is.
huh. How fast do you think someone could travel across the world? Like, would it take them a while?
He nods.
Like, how long is a like? I bet someone could cross the world in 3 days.
He thinks for a minute, and then he writes down, I guess it depends the tune.
Huh. I bet if Mom tried really hard, she could cross the world in 3 days.
He nods.
Messo is, oh boy. Messo is still looking around this room. Okay.
Just taking in the sights.
Alright. Messo looks outside. Is it still windy outside? Yeah.
It's definitely still windy outside. He writes down, maybe when the wind dies down a little, maybe then we can let you go. It doesn't look safe out there.
Nah, it's fine. You don't even need to roll for this. Messo believes it is completely safe to go outside. It's fine. I mean, I don't think I'd leave.
He nods, and then...
I don't think I want to leave yet anyway. It's really cool in here. This is like the second biggest house I've been in. I haven't seen the full scale of this house, so I can't tell if it's the first biggest house. But it's really big. It looked really big from the outside. Yeah?
He nods and writes down, thank you.
How big is your house? How tall is your house? How tall is it?
He says, I don't know the specifics, but it definitely is quite big.
Is it more than 2 stories?
Yes, he writes. But only by 1 more.
3 stories tall. That means your roof is taller then. Right? Right? That's what that means.
He nods.
Messo looks very eager for something, if you want to roll for it.
Do I roll an insight?
Yeah.
Oh boy. 11. What do I get with an 11?
He's very eager for something. Probably.
He just doesn't know what.
Yeah, he's very eager. He's very eager. Okay. Can we go to the top floors? Can we go to the top floors?
He thinks for a moment and goes, And he goes to right inside and goes, maybe not today.
Aww, why not? Your houses aren't fun if you can not go to the top, you know?
Got some renovations to do up there still.
Aw, fair enough. And
he thinks for a moment. You can see him tapping at the notepad again, and then eventually begins to write out, I can show you some other rooms, though.
Please?
He nods and then waves him back to go back into the main foyer area.
Yay! And Messo runs ahead a little bit. All the while, like,
he
sticking
decides to
his
go
hands
towards
up.
the back of the hall
Yeah.
area. He goes towards the back, and on the right-hand side on the wall that kind of like separates between the two doors on the side, there is a framed map.
A framed map. Is it one of Inkwell?
Not necessarily. Did you want to roll to see if you know it?
I sure do. So I have a feeling I do know what this map is. What should I roll?
I want to say insight.
Oh boy. That's a 15.
Yes, good. Messo, to you, you recognize this map quite quickly. It looks like a map that you have seen before on one of your previous adventures. And keep in mind, this is after the games for Atlantis.
Mr. Ollie, do you
Map.
know Mr. Witty?
He goes, wait, what? He kind of points at you like, huh? You?
You have the same map.
He looks really happy and nods frantically.
Oh, I met him before. We went on an adventure on the boat. The boat talked. Did you know the boat talked?
He writes down, I did not know that.
The boat talked.
But I know Witty. He is a very old friend of mine.
Really?
He nods.
Messo looks very happy at this news. Like, man, it out of character. Man, is he gaining grandpas? Anyway. Yeah, we went on this big cool adventure, and I made friends on there. Mind brain words. Anyway, Bildra and Little Joe and Vinny. They're all really nice, and it was such a good adventure.
He writes down, it sounds like one.
Yeah. I like that adventure a lot. It's a good adventure. It was one of my first adventures. I think, well, it's my second adventure. My first adventure was leaving the house. It's really hard to go down mountains. I learned that the hard way, because I went down a mountain. That was my second adventure. I got lost in town before getting on the boat. Do you know how big towns are? Really big.
He nods.
Oh, boy.
With that, he's going to also wave you towards the front right-hand side room this time. It
Oh,
kind of
boy.
looks more like a little study mixed with like a living room.
Oh, boy.
It seems like a comfortable space. There's also a piano. And I believe I actually have an image that kind of looks... let me find it. I know I have it somewhere. I forgot to pull it up.
Oh, Ike is dead. Ike is dead. Ike is dead. By the way, well, Ike is dead because Ike is muted. I don't know what happened. I will mention the Crunkle thing is funny because his mom that I keep mentioning is a paladin of Crunkle. And that's why he asked about the giant crab. So that's fun. That's fun. Ike. God.
Sorry, I'm not dead. It's just parent came in the room and I had to mute.
Yeah.
But I did find the image I was trying to say. The piano very roughly looks a little bit like this. It looks like it's made out of wood. It has some really neat patterns to it. It definitely looks like those kind of like self-playing pianos as well.
Ooh. Is this haunted too?
He shrugs. He doesn't really know.
Messo's going to press a key.
You press the key, and it makes a noise.
And Messo presses a lot of keys, but it's very apparent very fast he does not know how to play this instrument.
a bunch of piano noises is just kind of all over the place. Like like Greg from Over the Garden Wall. I feel it's kind of like him trying to play the piano.
Yeah, it's just he's pressing piano keys, man. He's pressing them keys and making them noises. It's pretty great.
You can see Ollie. It's like he's trying to laugh, but you can't hear it. So all you see is just like the slight jiggle of his shoulders going up and down because he's just having fun.
Messo has a full-on grin on his face. He is enjoying this piano. He is 5.
So he is 5. That he is.
Yeah.
Did you want to do a perception check to see if there's other stuff in the room?
Sure. Think. That's a 4. Nope, he's still preoccupied with this piano. He is not playing it well at all. I'm not even gonna roll for that. Okay. He doesn't know how to play piano.
You're just having a blast playing the piano, which I can relate. Ollie, he kind of smiles and he kind of goes towards the back of the room, which has like a big wall of book. It has a big bookcase, and he begins to kind of look at it curiously for a moment.
And Messo kind of slows down on his pianoing and looks over to Ollie. He's just like, "What you got over there?"
He kind of waves you over, like, "Well, come here."
Okay. And Messo stops playing the piano and sort of scrambles over.
You see him like he's looking quite seriously at this bookcase, and then you see him gently take a finger out and tries to pull on one of the books. Nothing happens, but then he tries doing it with another one, and nothing's happening.
Is there a secret door behind
here? He nods.
Messo. Okay, I have an idea. And Messo starts just pulling out books.
He writes down on his notepad, just make sure to put the books back.
Okay. I can't promise they'll be back in the same order, but I can try. And Messo just starts pulling books out of the bookshelf. Just full on pulling books out of the bookshelf.
Let's see. Did you want to roll for this?
What should I roll? I don't...
Let's see. I'm going to say investigation.
Investigation. 13.
Okay, you try to pull out one book, but nothing really seems to happen. You slide it back in.
Oh no, when I say pulling out the books, I mean he's taking them off the bookcase.
Oh, no.
Like, he is pulling out
pile of books.
Yeah, he's got a pile of books. He's got a pile of books now. He's trying to find this switch.
Okay, while you're doing that, Ollie is slowly putting the books back in.
He said he had... Ollie's not stopping him. He's gonna keep going. Should I roll again?
Oh, no. He's not gonna stop him. Go right ahead. Try again.
That's a 0! I feel like Messo goes to take out a book.
0. You're just pulling out many books. Now.
Okay. I feel like with a 0, I feel like he pulled out the books on one shelf and he pulled out the books on another, but he's kind of too small to reach the top of the books to easily pull them out for the third shelf. So he steps on the bottom shelf to try pulling it out, but like he slips and he ends up falling off the shelf.
Oh, he goes to rush to try to catch you really quick.
Okay.
What should I roll if I'm gonna do that?
Probably some sort of like acrobatics to like, you know.
Okay, I guess acrobatics or sleight of hand, which doesn't really matter because they're the same roll modifier anyway.
Like, Messo's not very heavy.
I get with a 9.
Oh god. Okay. Ollie, I think you notice you like react a second too late. And Messo hits the floor anyway.
Oh no! He goes to lean down to check up on him.
Messo
He can't say anything. You can tell that that's his intentions.
Messo holds a thumbs up and says, "I'm okay. I fell from higher places." And Messo springs back up.
He gets back up and tries to look for another book to pull. He finally pulls it, and you hear a big clunk from behind the bookshelf.
Is it gonna move? Is it moving? Is it
And
moving?
you can see it kind of pop forward ever so slightly.
And Messo's, is it like sliding out slowly, or is it just like, did it pop out a little bit and then stop?
It kind of just like it pops forward quickly, just enough just to see that it done that. And then he kind of pulls it open, and then it's just the big door right there.
How does that even work? Actually, I don't want to think too hard on it. Oh, Ike is dead again. Ike is dead. R.I.P. Ike. Look, I am trying to play Messo to the best of my ability. Hi, Ike!
Also, I'm here. Okay. Sorry, can you remind me? Door open. As far as I remember.
Messo is going to try to enter the room, wherever what's behind the door.
Yeah, you can go right ahead.
Alright, Messo rushes into the room.
You actually ended up finding yourself in the library. It's this very tall room. It's not really big, but it's enough that it has like a couple aisles of books.
How tall are the bookshelves? How tall are... Ike, when you unmute, tell me how tall the bookshelves are. Please. I need to know this for reasons. How tall are the bookshelves? I'm gonna take a sip of water. Don't forget to hydrate. I probably made gross water noises. This is fine. Everything's fine. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Ike.
Okay, how tall the bookcases are?
How tall are the bookcases?
The book they're quite tall. I would say they're probably about double the size of Ollie. And I mean Ollie's about 5 feet, so it's quite tall.
Messo gets a look on his face. Just at the height. If Ollie... Ollie, would you like to roll insight to see what kind of look this is?
Oh yeah, I could roll insight.
Oh boy, Ollie.
22.
Ollie, this is... You've seen this look because you are an adventurer yourself. He has a very adventurous look on his face. He 100% wants to climb that bookshelf.
Oh boy.
He is looking at it intently. Like, I'm going to climb this bookshelf.
Down. Maybe not climb it, but
it's tall.
He nods. He writes out, yes, it is.
but I want to climb it. Because it's tall. And tall things... For a moment
and goes... he writes down, maybe not.
Aww.
Not right now.
And Messo looks like a kid who's been told no, because that's exactly what he's been. That's exactly what he is. He's a kid who's been told no. Yeah. He's a kid who's been told no, and he looks very disappointed. But also, maybe with that 22, like he's going to do it anyway, as soon as Ollie takes his eyes off him.
Oh my goodness. Also, can you do a perception check really quick?
Okay. Oh, that's an unnatural 20.
Oh, okay. Oh boy. So Messo, as you had entered, and aside from seeing these really big bookcases, you can really get the idea of the atmosphere. It's extremely quiet in this room, but you feel like it's quieter than it normally is, even. That is until you hear something drop on the other side of the room.
Is there ghosts in here? And Messo
Ollie shrugs.
Messo is going over to the noise.
Okay, you go towards the noise, and lo and behold, it is indeed a book that has fallen out.
What book is it? What book is it? Messo picks up the book. What book is it?
Oh god.
Is it a
Is
is it a themingly dramatic book?
I'm gonna say the book is called Toon, like the Toon Encyclopedia.
This sounds boring.
Ollie's just like slowly coming up and hears that. It's like, okay.
I mean, like, is an encyclopedia just like a not a lot of fun stuff? It's not like books where people go save like princesses from castles. People save princesses from castles. Did you know that?
He thinks and then goes on that.
I've never seen a princess before.
Like that, but I can't remember where they're put though.
Books. And Messo is still holding on to this encyclopedia, by the way, and he's just running around the library now. Like, there are adventure books in here, and probably books he hasn't read before. You know, adventure books about princesses and castles. Oh boy.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Messo has ran off deeper into the library, by the way.
Still, he's gonna race after him.
Yeah. Messo is
you can
like...
hear another book drop, and it actually drops like in front of Messo.
Messo picks up that book. What is it? What book is it?
I think it's... Oh, what do I did not think this through. I want to say this one is called Toon Kind 101.
Messo doesn't know what that means, but he's holding it again. He's just like, why is there so many toon books about toons in your library? Are you from Faruma as well? Well, I'm not from Faruma.
He shakes his head no.
Oh, but my mom's from Faruma. She's from Faruma. And Messo is now holding both of these books. They're probably pretty big books, and so he's kind of like leaning them against himself to like hold them properly, because he's 3 feet tall. If you've ever held something when you're short and like they're kind of heavy, you just sort of like tilt them against yourself. I would know this because I am short. But he's holding these books and he's just like, well, Faruma's very nice. Have you ever seen Faruma before?
He nods a little bit. He writes down a tiny bit, yes.
I don't remember what the place is called. I'll have to ask Mom. But there's like a big mountain where Mom is from there, and Mom decided to settle down on a similar mountain in Ghibli. I'm from Ghibli. Where are you from? Are you from here? Like here? This mansion? Is this mansion? Did you inherit this mansion? I mean, it looks really old.
He shrugs.
Messo is still...
A shrug is all you get.
Messo is still walking around this library while he's talking, by the way. He's either looking for wherever the fiction section is, or for more books dropping randomly from shelves.
I need to think for a second.
Okay, it's fine.
I'm gonna say, as you guys are going about the library, of course there's a few more books that drop.
Messo picks up every single one of them.
Is the one as well.
I'm sorry, what was that?
And he kind of he pauses in the middle and he looks concerned.
Messo now is just holding a stack of books, by the way. He hasn't put any of them back. He's just holding on to them. He is holding these books.
He kind of pokes at your shoulder then, and then writes down, you can put them down.
Oh, I don't remember what shelves they were from. And
he writes down, it's okay. I got this.
Messo sets them on the floor, just right next to him.
He nods, and then he begins to show you back towards the main foyer, and then kind of looks at his watch for a bit.
Oh, is it getting late? Is it getting late?
He writes down, it has been a bit. It does kind of look like the wind has settled a bit outside.
The wind probably has not settled. Like, at all.
You can see that as he looks inside, he can vaguely see what's out there, because, like, the windows towards the foyer and the front door are not as big as the other rooms.
Oh, okay, then, I should probably get going. I think I promised to meet someone up somewhere. It was either that, or...
He also writes down, do you have, like, a way I can contact you? Like, keep in touch?
I do have an address, but... most of the time, just throwing into the wind seems to work. That's how most people do it. But, hold on. And Messo reaches into his pockets and, pulls out a flyer. It's a flyer. It's a flyer for Atlantis, but he flips it over and writes on the back an address. It's the only scrap paper he had on his person.
Oh, he nods and he takes it humbly.
It's one of the flyers for Atlantis, for the Atlantis games. And alright, you can send letters there. Just make sure they're addressed to me, Messo, and not to anyone else, because I know Glitter. She likes to open letters sometimes if they don't have an address, but she's like a little bit older than me, but. She's a little bit older than me, and she doesn't quite understand that she probably shouldn't be opening mail yet. And like, I don't know, she really likes mail for some reason. And if it doesn't have, like, a specific... If it has my mom's name, she usually opens it anyway. But if it has any of our names on it, she doesn't open it. So you gotta write, like, very clearly that it's for me. And then she'll put it under my door. I probably have a lot of letters under my door. I haven't been home in a while. Anyway. And, Messo, I know you're muted, but I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Messo is walking back to the front door, and out of his hammer space. Oh. Ike is typing. Oh, it's fine. Background noise happens. We're in the age of quarantine and Zoom. Messo takes out a fairly large umbrella. It kind of looks like a modified beach umbrella. It's like a weird hybrid between a beach umbrella and like a normal rain umbrella, and it has 7 stripes on it, but only one of them is filled in a red. And he takes it out, and he's standing by the door, and he goes, alright, if it is getting late, I should get going. I'll see you soon, though. And he walks out the door. It is still windy out there. It is as windy as it is when he got there. And he opens the umbrella and just steps into the handle, and the wind just kind of lifts him off. He's gone, my dude. He is into the wind. Hi.
Into the wind he goes. And then Ollie just kind of like, he just like kind of nods and waves at him as he goes.
By the way, the wind is still as intense as it was before. It did not calm down at all. I'm just gonna say that. Alright.
And I think that about sums it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for listening and for playing.
It was fun. Oh boy. Messo talks a lot. I didn't expect Messo to talk this much. I should probably stop recording. Alright. Bye, guys!
Bye bye.